Morning everyone, we're out on a canoe trip on the River Yare, heading out from Brundall down towards the Reedham Ferry complex where hopefully we're going to be camping out tonight. I'm out in my wooden canoe and my brother Pete, he's out in his inflatable. He's in a SEVYLOR adventure. Let's get cracking.
The River Yare is a river in the English county of Norfolk. Today I'm canoeing from Brundall, southeast downriver towards Reedham, a distance of 16.4 kilometres. We launched our canoes on the north bank opposite the Ferry House pub at the location of the old ferry crossing near Poswick, just a few kilometres outside Norwich. Flowing eastward into the Broads, the river passes the villages of Bramerton, Surlingham, Rockland St Mary and Cantley. Beyond Reedham, the river enters Breydon Water and ultimately the North Sea at Great Yarmouth. The river is tidal and the exposed southeastern portions are open to the effects of the wind, ideal for the famous Norfolk wherries, a type of sailboat that were commonplace in past years and now seen infrequently. Our plan was to paddle to Reedham, camp one night and then paddle back towards Chedgrave and Loddon on the tributary river Chet, depending on the strength of the wind and weather conditions.
We're hoping to camp tonight, so this adventure is going to be a 2-day adventure with one night out in the tent. It's 8:30 in the morning now. The weather forecast is thundery showers as the morning develops, with some heavy showers this afternoon, hopefully clearing up by the time we set camp at about 5 o'clock this evening, and then tomorrow should be a really nice sunny day. And I think the first of the showers is just coming in. We're just turning into Surlingham Broad. There's the sign hidden away behind the rushes. Getting a bit warm on Surlingham Broad. I think I'm going to have to take this waterproof off. Knowing my luck, it'll probably start tipping it down in a second. We've got the wind on our back. It's a southwesterly, so it's blowing us downriver towards our destination, which is really quite nice. So we're doing at about 2.5–3 kilometres per hour without even paddling. Coming out of Surlingham Broad now, back onto the river. So Pete, you ready for a coffee? Coffee time. Let's go find a place to moor up. Coffee. We've just had a nice cup of coffee and a cereal bar. We're re-energized, and not only that, the sun's coming out. So far so good, feeling good. Just leaving the Brundle area now, and the terrain is changing a little bit less woody and becoming more open. So Pete is out on a SEVYLOR adventure. It's a one person and a child, one adult and a child. It's very, very similar to my Adventure Plus, a little bit smaller. So he's out on the inflatable and I'm out on a rigid, and it's going to be nice to just compare what the advantages and disadvantages are of a rigid hard canoe and an inflatable. We've pulled over for lunch. Got some water on the go for some pasta, some dried pasta soup. Got a couple of pasties each. And we're going to try some of this stuff that I've not had before. Alcoholic water, is there such a thing? Nordic Wolf, lemon flavour. Cheers everyone.
Strawberry flavoured alcohol water. Oh, it's 4%. I'd rather have a beer, but it'll do.
Reed Cutter Pub. That's Cantley British Sugar Factory. They make the sugar.
Cantley is well known for its sugar beet factory, which was constructed in 1912. It is now owned by British Sugar. It is one of only 4 factories responsible for producing all of the UK's sugar beet crop. Running adjacent to the river is the Wherryman's Way, a long-distance trail and footpath between Norwich and Great Yarmouth, mainly on the south bank, and takes in the Hardley Drainage Mill, which was built in 1874.
So far we've been very fortunate with the weather. It's been dry, hasn't rained at all. But the wind's picked up. Coming around that corner was a bit fierce. It's a nice windmill though, I just wanted to have a quick look at. Very nice indeed. Not far to go now to the campsite at Reedham Ferry, about 2.5 kilometres.
The weather turned grey, and ominous clouds blew towards us, and we heard the crack of thunder. We knew our luck with the weather was about to change. We were in for a soaking.
Wet.
Not far to go. I think we're into the last kilometre. Look at it now. So still. Really still. It's raining. It's just around that corner.
How you feeling, Pete? Tip-top, mate. All the best.
He's okay, he's got a beer in his hand, so he's happy. Well, we are nearly there. There's the village of Reedham. You can just see the Reedham Ferry going across, and our campsite is in these trees here. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. It's about 16 kilometres we've just paddled in all types of weather. It's just stopped raining, thankfully. We're here. Good stuff. So the old SEVYLOR Adventure, it was man enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
really good canoe.
Yeah, very pleased with it. Could just do with a little bit of a sort of spray deck type stuff over the top, just to some of the water getting in, but apart
Oh
from
yeah,
that, really pleased with it.
that's a good idea. Yeah, sprayed it. Right, get onto the campsite, get the tent up. Welcome to Reedham. There he is, Sleeping Beauty. Whew, just taking 5 minutes to relax. The tent's up, we've got all our beds out, and a little bit exhausted. 16 kilometres paddle is quite a long way, so just going to take 5 minutes to recover. That's the view outside the tent. Looks like a couple of passing thunderstorms. This is my ONETIGRIS IRONWALL tent. It's alright, it's pretty big, pretty spacious inside. I haven't bothered putting up the bed chamber. We've managed to get our 2 camp cots in here. Plenty of room. Yeah, it's cool. And in a minute we're going to head off over to the pub for an evening meal. The Reedham Ferry complex lies on the western outskirts of the village of Reedham and consists of the chain link ferry, the Archers touring site, and the Ferry Inn pub, located on the banks of the River Yare, where we enjoyed some great pub grub before an early night. Super Sparrow. Morning. Nothing better than the great smell of coffee. Got one of those filter coffees this morning. Morning, Pete.
Morning.
How'd you sleep?
Pretty well. The new cot beds are absolutely amazing. A little bit cold because one of us got water in his sleeping bag, so I had to sleep with a thin sheet over the top of me.
We'd woken up to a fine, dry day. The air was clear and bright. The sun shone, but the wind had picked up to a strong westerly, rustling the reed beds and creating waves on the river against the direction of travel that we had planned upon. We had slept well and we were refreshed for another day's paddling, but we took our time to pack up and enjoy the campsite, its location and facilities.
You can see where we were sleeping last night, just tucked in there. Basically, it's like wild camping. There's nobody here in this field. You've got access to the main campsite area and the toilet block and shower, which is very nice. If you do come down with a caravan and you want electrical hookups, then it's all behind me in the tree in the wooded area there. But the beauty about this particular field is the views over the marshes up towards Cantley.
Just west of Cantley lies RSPB Buckingham Marshes, a fantastic wetland habitat for waterfowl, birds and other wildlife like otters and deer.
Quite impressed with your canoe, Pete?
Very impressed with it, yeah. It's got good stability, it's fairly easy to canoe, and I did 5.5 hours on and off on it, and I'm not massively fit. I'm not unfit either, but it's a good canoe for an average person to paddle. Very happy with it, yeah.
So plenty of storage on the old canoes. This is all your kit.
Yeah, most of it's wet.
We packed our kit and portaged our canoes back to the river edge, ready to set off.
We're all packed up and we're about to launch. It's really super windy, so a little bit concerned about that. You can see that by the waves and the choppiness of the river. Here comes the chain link ferry. So we're going to launch just here in this inlet here, and we're going to press on upriver towards Chedgrave.
Heading into wind and against the tidal flow, it was clear that progress was going to be difficult.
Unfortunately, the wind is just too strong and it's a bit too much of a risk to go against the chop. So we've decided to turn around, and discretion is the better part of valour. So we're heading down towards Reedham. Reedham, next stop.
We decided to turn around because our planned route was to take us abeam the flow of the river if we attempted to cross the River Yare to enter the River Chet towards Loddon and Chedgrave. The waves, which were cresting alongside the top of my canoe, may have tipped us over if we weren't careful, so we turned and headed southeast with the wind on our backs towards the village of Reedham. The current and the waves had churned the water, and it was now a red-tan colour. The conditions were nearly good enough for Pete to surf his inflatable canoe and glide atop the river surface. Even though we were now travelling with the wind and tide, the blustery and choppy conditions were a challenge to keep straight and out from the reed beds where the wind kept pushing me. Reaching Reedham, it was lunchtime.
Well folks, we've made it to Reedham and we're going to knock it on the head there. It's a bit too windy, bit too choppy. It's a little bit of a risk. So we're going to have our lunch. I'm going to have a Copperberg cider and Pete is going to have a wherry.
Cheers, I'm looking forward to my Norfolk wherry beer and my Moroccan John West on the go salad. So all the best, cheers.
All the best from the River Yare in Norfolk. And until the next time, thanks for watching.